to Reiki Banashi, a podcast where we talk about Reiki in a simple and approachable way. I'm your host Innina, and I'm a practitioner and teacher Shihan of Jikiden Reiki, traditional Japanese Reiki, and through this space I share thoughts and reflections with you. Today, I have the great pleasure of welcoming Maki Yama. Maki is Japanese and she's a Shihan of Jikiden Reiki. She teaches and practices in San Francisco in the United States, but regularly travels back and forth. It was in fact in Kyoto at the Jikiden Reiki Institute that we met in 2023. I'm excited to share this conversation with you, so make yourself comfortable and let's get started. こんばんはじゃなくておはようございます。
Yeah, good
マキ
morning.
さん。
おはようございます。
ようこそ。Welcome to
Ah,
Reiki Banashi.
thank you for having me today.
It's a great pleasure to have you with us. And so, お元気ですか？
Yeah, thank you. I'm very fine.
And so, Maki-san, we've met in Kyoto, I think about 2 years ago already.
2 years ago in
Yeah.
April, I believe,
Yeah, exactly. That was at the
when you
Jikiden.
became Shihankaku.
Exactly, at
Yeah,
the Jikiden Reiki Institute,
yeah.
and that was this incredible seminar with Tadao Sensei
Mhm.
because it was the first one after COVID, right,
That's
in
right.
Japan,
That's
in
right.
English. And
Yes, yes.
so that was so nice to have all these teachers from
Yeah,
all over the
all
world
over the
and
world. That's right.
right. And meeting you at this occasion made it very special because I don't know if you
Mm.
remember we practiced enkaku together during the
Together? Yeah,
retreat.
that's right. That's right.
So that was
That's
fun, and
it.
so
Yeah,
meeting
I'm
you was
very impressed with your multilingual skills.
thank
Japanese
you.
and Italian and Japanese and what else?
A few others, but French
Wow.
mainly.
Ah,
Right. So,
okay.
Maki-san, you're a Jikiden Reiki Shihan
Shihan,
teacher,
very nice.
and you teach in San Francisco area, or
That's
where?
right. That's right.
Right. All right.
I
Okay.
have never taught Jikiden Reiki in Japan. Only,
Oh.
yeah, just because I didn't want to, invade people's kind of territory.
Mm. Okay,
So,
got it.
yes.
I thought you were maybe sometimes doing both because I always follow you traveling, and
Uh-huh. Yeah, I do travel a lot back and forth.
that's so
So when
nice.
I got a request from someone in Japan for the
Mhm.
teaching, I usually refer to the
Right.
local,
All
uh,
right.
yes,
Okay, okay.
so that they can follow up, right
Exactly.
away.
Yeah. 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 That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful. But
yeah,
maybe before we can go back in time,
yeah,
before you
yeah.
became a Shihan, and we can maybe talk about your Reiki journey and
Okay.
how did you discover Reiki and
Yeah.
what was it that truly drew you into this
Mhm.
practice?
Yeah, so thank you for having me and then to give me this opportunity to look back. And I think my journey started off when my only brother, or elder brother, passed away. He was 53 years old in the year of 2009, September. He had a heart attack and then he died suddenly in front of his family member.
Oh.
And yeah, that was the shocking, of course. And then so I'm the youngest of four.
Mm,
And my dad brother is the oldest when he was
mm,
53. However, I'm the youngest.
mm.
And however, before I was born, these two elder brother and sister already died, gone. So
Oh,
yeah, when
okay.
they were little. So we are the, final two, and then the brother, passed away. And that was September of 2009. And my mother was devastated, but I had children to take care, the United
Mm,
States here. So I couldn't stay that long, maybe a couple of weeks. And
mm.
then came back and then went back 6 months later to see how they're doing and all that. And then my brother's picture like letter size picture was next to the Buddhist, because we were Buddhist
Mm,
altar, right? And then
mm,
I was talking to him, and then how come you went so quickly? And they were just
mm,
explaining how we were so sad and stuff like that. And then, I was kneeling on the tatami mat, right? And then we're talking to the picture on the floor. And then all of a sudden, somehow I thought his eye picture
mm.
in his eyes kind of blinked. Like, doo-doo. Yeah.
Oh.
So like you did. So I go, what? So I just looking forward to him. Like, what?
Oh.
Because, my eyesight aren't so good. So I was, you know, looking towards the picture.
Mm.
And that moment, I felt some kind of a thunder hit me.
Oh.
Electrical shock, like boom. So I got knocked down on the floor. It was like I didn't pass out,
Mm.
but it's somehow I felt that shock. And
Mm.
then and I was like, what was that? Right? And then I thought it was like my brother wanted to tell me something or something, but I didn't know what it was. So that was the some event happened, and then I stayed another week and I talked to my mother, and then came back to here. And then that event's always stuck in my mind, back of my
Mm.
head. And then back then I used to take a yoga lesson,
Mm.
right? And then I've been, taking lesson. So I totally, we just went back to the normal life and then went to yoga one day. And we did this, regular yoga routines. And at the end, the yoga teacher did this meditation. We are all
Mm.
sitting, crisscross the leg and breathing in, breathing out, closing eyes. And then that meditation was like this. So you close your eyes, and then can you see yourself above you? So just imagine that you are seeing yourself in and above. And then I saw me. And then the teacher said, can you go a little bit higher, maybe towards the ceiling to see the entire class, the classmates? And I was able to see.
Mm.
And then, so exercise was going higher and higher. So the instructor said to go through the ceiling and see this entire building, just go higher. And I was able to see, closing eyes, though, imagination. And then she said, if you see this, building, just go much higher to see the city,
Mm.
you know, county, and higher, higher, and to see the bigger picture of the earth, California, United States. So we will all go higher, higher, and then just go through it. If you see the beautiful, California, the earth and the ocean, just go through the atmosphere, go to the space. So I did. And it's just much
Oh.
darker. Yeah, and I was like swimming in the between the stars and then she asked me to go much, much faster. Just go like a turbo engine. And I go, and it goes, okay, I see the earth and everything. And it just start the, turbo engine. And at
Mm.
that moment, swear to God, my neck, the head, was going to be pulled out because it's going so fast. And I was like, oh, in close time. And then she said, do you see the one bright star, like a light that's
Mm.
in the back? And I saw it. And then if you see it, just don't hesitate and just fly and jump into the light.
Mm.
So, okay. So I close the eye and it's just that small, bright light. It's get bigger, bigger,
Mm.
bigger. And I just jumped into the big source of bright light. We were all, meditating. It just happening
Mm.
in my head.
Mm.
And it just go like this. Then yeah, so when I slipped into that light, what happened was I felt the thunder like shock again. Like,
Oh,
ooh.
the
Just
same
like,
intensity then. This,
yes. And
oh.
it was OMG. So I opened my little bit to see how the other classroom classmates was doing, and everybody's just calm and meditating. That was, only me, I guess. So,
Mm,
but I didn't tell the instructor what
mm.
happened. And then, ended at the end, she said, this meditation is called Reiki meditation. That's what she said.
Oh.
Yes. And then she gave us a piece of paper,
Mm.
handed out to the piece of paper. That paper had Gokai in English was printed.
It's
Yeah. So I was
interesting.
wondering, what's this Reiki meditation? That
Mm.
was the beginning of
Oh.
the journey, the Reiki meditation. So I
So,
got really excited to maybe I can find a connection between my first thunder
yeah.
experiencing with my, brothers, in front of brothers' picture versus,
Mm.
this Reiki meditation. So that
Yeah,
was the beginning of
right. And was it the first time that you heard the word
the
Reiki?
term.
The
Well,
term?
it wasn't. It wasn't. I've heard the
Mm.
Reiki before when I
Mm.
went to like a Qigong
Yeah.
Congress.
Yeah.
People has the business guy as a Reiki master. But so I knew I've heard, but I didn't know exactly what
What it
Reiki
was.
was back then.
Right. Wow.
So
Okay.
here I came home and have to, search what Reiki meditation is. And it took some time. So that was about, yeah, year later, I had this second thunder experience.
All
And
right.
then
Yeah.
the year later, I found a Reiki class near my house.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was a 2012 November, it says. And then I
Uh-huh.
became I took a first level, you know,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
the Reiki. That was the Western Reiki.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my very beginning. And then I've been, practicing Western way. And
Mm.
then 6 months later, I decided to take a Reiki level 2,
Mm.
which is the like distance healing and maybe Seiheki too.
Yeah, like
Clear,
psychological
psychological.
treatment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then so that level 2 had two classes, 2 week, like a half a day each or something like that, one day each. So took a first section of the level 2 and then came home and the next morning I took a shower and then I saw this red light was drawn all the way from the wrist all the
Yeah.
way to the nipple and the both.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it's like a really, really red. We have a Sharpie, so-called, here in the United States.
Yes,
It's a
yes, those
permanent marker.
markers.
It's
Yeah.
permanent marker. That much red. It's not
Oh.
swollen. That's not itchy. It's not nothing. It's just the red light. I mean, a red line in the
Hmm.
both arms. And it's like, what the heck? And wanted to take a picture, but just like a rainbow, it just go disappear in a second, like maybe
Hmm.
10 seconds or something like that. So this is weird. And then, what is this radio? I said, all got kind of excitement and confusion and everything. So went to the second section week later to finish up level 2. And there's another classmate did have the similar red light. Her
Mm.
case was here on the inside of the arm. It's like a maze like. She was able to take a photo because it's right
Wow.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were all stunned.
This is
And then so
incredible.
yeah, so I was back then I was wondering what the heck
Mm.
is this Reiki is, right? And then, well, anyway, so I wanted to practice, distance Reiki. And then luckily, I have a mother, right, in Japan. I'm here in San Francisco Bay Area.
Mm.
So I called. Because I wanted to practice. And then back then, there was no cell phone. As a call.
Yeah.
And then, rang, and she didn't answer. So I was about to hang up
Mm.
because she didn't answer. In that moment, she answered the phone. It's like, oh, she's there. I was like, hello. and then her voice was really, really terrible. It's like, oh, hello. And, oh, Maki. It's like I said, well, what happened? It's like, well, I don't feel good, she said. And then because the telephone was ringing so long, she kind of crawled to the living room
Oh.
to get the phone. It's like, oh, sorry. And it's like, oh, oh, really? You're sick. Oh, mom. So I said, I've learned something
Mm,
that I can, like heal the condition like you have. So can I try,
mm,
distantly? And then she
mm.
said, oh, you can do whatever to fix this condition.
She was happy
Sure.
too.
Yeah. So I asked her to lie on the sofa in a couch in the living room, and then we hang up. And then I did the 30 minutes Western Reiki
Mm,
distant healing, 30 minutes. So first time. And then I wanted to call her to see how it is or how she felt. But because she didn't feel good, so I didn't push and I didn't call her. So instead, I went to, it was nighttime here, so I went
mm.
to take a shower to go to bed. And then when I was taking shower, my phone rang. My
Oh,
home phone rang. It's like it was late. It's like 11.
yeah.
It's like, oh my, that could be my mom, right? So I just finish it off quickly and I call my mom again. And she answered right away this time.
Ah.
It's like, oh, like, Maggie, Maggie. And her voice was high-pitched tone. It's like, what happened?
Okay.
And then she said, someone came. Someone came. It's like, who? Who came? I said, and she said, oh, sorry, no one came, but just like someone came, that person stirred up my belly, like a tummy. Yeah.
Oh.
And then she had to go to the bathroom 5 times within the 30 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was kind of constipated, but she didn't know that she was constipated. And then she just had
Right.
this like a migraine or vertigo or something. So she didn't
Mm.
feel good. But she went and then so I asked her how she felt, and then she goes, she's fine now. She was fine
Oh.
after this.
So that
So
was the first
very first, it's like, what the
wow.
heck? Again, so it's just all this, gradually this
Mm.
Reiki just drove me to the interesting experience.
Mm.
So I asked my instructor, I want to become a teacher like you.
Teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a Reiki master. But
Mm.
she said, sorry, Maki, I'm not allowed, or I'm not qualified to teach,
Oh.
master
Teacher's
level.
level.
So she's
Yeah.
not like, say, Shihan or Shihan
Yeah.
Kakuri, whatever. Oh, maybe Dai Shihan, maybe.
Oh.
So, okay, then. So I had to look for, another teacher who are able
Mm.
to, you know, teach,
Mm.
teacher. So I found one near the other side of the city. And then I knocked the door, and then I'm interested in to become a master. But she said, well, actually, both two teachers in the same program.
Ah.
But they said that, I have to retake their program from the
Oh,
level that
from
I
the
took
beginning.
because I took someone else. So that doesn't happen in Jikiden, but back then it's like,
Mm.
oh, okay, then I have to pay, spend my
Mm.
money and time
Time,
to
yeah.
prepare. Level one,
Mm.
level two. So I'm ready, okay,
Mm.
to take a master class. But they
Mm.
said it's a master class takes 1 year course. It's long.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I didn't know. I was like,
yeah.
1 year. I was like, wow. And then the problem was, since I have two children, and so during
Mm.
the summer, I usually take them to Japan with me, and then
Yeah.
so that they can go to school there.
Mm.
So I really cannot take
Mm.
entire, because I'm not here usually 2 months in the summer month.
Mm.
So I cannot complete the program.
Yeah.
So I just found out. And then even after I finished their programs, like bummed. So then
Oh.
I have to look for another one.
Ah.
That time I found Jikiden Reiki.
Mm.
And then remember, so I had three teachers, right? Three Western teachers.
Yeah,
And then I had so many questions because there are some symbols and some Jumo like, things.
right.
Sounds like a Japanese, but then I ask the questions and then they don't know the answer. So this is what it is. Memorize
Mm.
this way or that way, use this one that way. So I got a little bit of frustration.
Mm.
And now I was doing the research. I found a Jikiden and it looks like it's a traditional from Usui Sensei to holy mackerel. That's the only. And I was again this time I wanted to look for the information how to become a teacher
Right.
beforehand.
Yeah, 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 to make
Okay,
sure.
okay. Yeah, it's a 40 people, 120. Okay, I got
All right.
it. So so that was Mari Okazaki. Okazaki marries
Ah,
Yusei.
right. Yeah.
So so that was I think it's the class starts like in 2 weeks or something like that really quickly.
Mm.
So I have to really sign up
Fast,
immediately.
yeah.
Yeah, very fast. So I just registered, you know,
Mm.
and then paid, and then
Mm.
now I have to book flights in a hotel.
All
And then
right, because it was in Vancouver or
Vancouver,
right, so
Vancouver.
you had
I
to
thought,
fly.
but then so I got this venue address, and then I typed in the Google, map, and then what's
Mm.
the quickest way to go. And but then the Google map showed that I have to fly from San Francisco to
Right?
Chicago, and in Chicago to
Eh?
Halifax. I said, what?
What?
I thought I was going to straight to the north to the Vancouver, Canada, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. That seminar was held at the Halifax at Gabrielle location.
Oh, so the
Mary
other
was
way around.
yeah, kind enough to post that seminar information. I didn't think.
Oh.
Because I paid and signed up, I was really eager to learn. It's like, oh, might as well. I go. So I flew from very west of United States, right? San Francisco, all the
All
way to
the
the east
way.
to the Halifax. So that was my very first Jikiden Reiki seminar. And
Mm,
then Mari-san was there as an interpreter, and
yeah.
then Yamaguchi Sensei was there. So that is the 2013 September,
All right.
12 years ago.
Okay, that's so you had quite a journey before finding
Yeah.
Jikiden Reiki,
Yeah.
right? Ah,
Yes. And then there are so many, students. I don't know exactly, like maybe
mm,
15, because my class here was really small, like maybe two or three. It's very small.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then yeah, over there was big, and then the people were just, into, Reikis and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was kind of culture shocked to see the people who are
Mm,
taking the course, and then the course was, say, taught by Yamaguchi Sensei, right? So in
yeah.
Japanese, I was able to understand fully,
Mm,
but then I have to interpret, and then some of the elements are not so easy to understand, the
mm,
culture and then the religion.
mm,
But the people, like a wording,
mm,
and it's in Japanese, but they're so into it and very, diligent to learn Jikiden. I was really fascinated. And again, all my questions were answered.
there you go. I wanted to ask you, so what was different now that
Oh
you,
my
yeah.
God. It's like, oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. All
Mm,
the light bulb lit
yeah,
is the, Reiki, it's
yeah.
cool that,
Mm,
there's no doubt that I was super happy. I mean, more than happy. I was like, all my frustration was gone. And then, so remember, I was kind of determined to become a teacher.
right,
So,
yeah.
right. So even before I went to Halifax, I actually signed up to rent a special room, like
Mm,
every other Sunday, the
mm,
clinic here, room to practice Reiki already. So,
right.
yeah, so when I finished the Jikiden Reiki seminar, like 4
Mm,
days, I think, back then. I came
mm,
back here immediately, and then start to practice Reiki.
Oh,
Even
that's
become
amazing.
Shihankaku. Yeah. So that was great. Actually, it was good that I flew to Halifax because I was the only Japanese. So I was able to spend the time with Yamaguchi Sensei and Marison every time.
Mm.
If I flew into Vancouver, I'm sure there are several more Japanese. So, I could be
Oh,
one of them, right?
right.
That was a special occasion.
Nice. Well, what a story.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not
So
too
yeah.
boring, but then, so that was it. And then, so I had a room and I was able to, practice Reiki without any problem. And I just recruit everybody. And
Mm,
then I went to like autism group to give Reiki to the children.
beautiful.
Yeah. And then so 6 months later, this time I flew Vancouver and then became
You checked before.
Shihankaku. Yeah, I checked before. And then it became a Shihankaku like 6 months later. So that was a what? 2014, March. And then at
Nice.
that time, I met Yohei-san for the first time.
Ah, the
And
son
then
of Tadao Yamaguchi
Sue-san,
Sensei.
Sue-san as well. So Sue and myself became a Shihankaku at the same time.
Mm,
Mm.
wonderful. Wonderful. You just mentioned you also practiced on autistic
Yeah,
kids.
yes.
How did they respond to Reiki?
They were actually didn't hesitate because
Mm.
I didn't use a
Ah,
massage bed. It was just a regular couch
yeah.
sitting next to each other. But some other, warned me maybe they don't like strangers and stuff. They
Mm,
didn't. They did not.
mm.
And then, in fact, the one of the girl, she was severe autism kid, cannot talk, cannot,
Right. Yeah.
communicate. She had some issue with how to say, we have the time change, like a summertime
Mm-hmm.
change,
Yeah. Yeah.
So around that time, mother told me that the girl, her daughter, has an issue for sleeping. So I did
Mm.
that distance Reiki,
Oh,
enkaku,
yes.
treat her. But that night, she just went to sleep
Slept.
without any issue.
Amazing.
So mother was really curious.
Mm.
So I used to treat her, the daughter. It's about teenager. She was big, um, every week, every
Mm.
week. And then I don't know exactly how many sessions are done, but then one day she came home with a teacher's note. The students get this teacher's note, and it said, this girl was really attentive,
Mm.
listening, and then so really, what are you doing? Like she changed. That's mother said. Email to us.
Wow.
Wow. And we kept doing that. Then I don't know how long, maybe 6 months. So we kept the session. And then mother
Mm.
learned Jikiden Reiki from me.
This is
And then
great.
we were doing that. Then later, she was able to use this special communication machine. She
Oh,
can press yes,
yeah.
no, or, So at the
Mm.
time, at the later, she was able to communicate. So mother was really, really grateful.
This is wonderful. This
That
is
was
really
amazing.
mind-blowing. Huh? And
Yeah.
yeah.
So I knew
Mm.
that, and then for my feeling, children didn't have any pre-conditioned information about Reiki. So just I'm
Yeah.
here, Maki's here, and just to be a friend, and then just trust me. And then
Mm.
so that's how they receive Reiki and just to become herself
Yeah.
naturally. So that was
Wonderful.
yeah.
That might
So
be moving as well, no? To have these moments of connection and
yes, yes.
yeah,
So
beautiful.
every single experience brought, inspired me to keep going, right? To do the Reiki.
Mm.
So I did volunteer at the Stanford Hospital. Do you know what
Oh,
Stanford Hospital is? The hospital, the west side of the United States, the prestigious hospital.
wow.
And then there was a Reiki group who give a Reiki to either, so two groups. One
Mm.
is to give the patient like a how do you call it? Like a drop-in patient who come in
Mm.
and have to wait and
Yeah.
anxious. and they can give
Walking.
Reiki.
Yeah, yeah.
Walking,
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
meditation. That's the group. And then the other group is to give a Reiki to staff member, like a nurse, doctor, and
Oh,
then all the administrative staff.
wow,
So
this is
I was
amazing.
in the second group.
Mm,
So every Tuesday, I was in the group to give a Reiki to staff member of a staff
mm,
work.
wow.
And I was the only Jikiden Reiki practitioner.
Right.
And then it's about a group of maybe 10 of us, and then sometimes 5 or 6 of us show up and I give a Reiki.
Mm,
So I did that for about a year, and then I did also volunteer at the other hospital, San Jose, the West Valley. That one is a community hospital.
mm,
That means so you don't have to have money or
mm.
insurance, actually. So there are less fortunate people are there.
Right. Yeah.
So totally different type of a
Yeah.
hospital. Stanford is a research hospital and
Mm,
prestige and everybody go, top-notch
yeah.
technology, medical technologies there, but then the West Valley is community hospital. So when I
Mm,
volunteered there, so I was volunteered there as a like a palliative caregiver, like a palliative program.
palliative. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Mm.
So I got this doctor note prescription.
Mm.
So I have to go to this room, the patient name.
Oh, so the doctor would recommend to the patient to
Yes. So
receive
that's
Reiki.
the different purpose,
Yeah.
right? This
Yeah.
is for staff, and then
Yeah.
this one is the really ill patient,
Yeah.
really ill who are less fortunate.
Mm.
Mhm. So
Wow.
I've been so this hospital I used to give a Reiki to say homeless people and or
Mm.
the immigrants.
Wow.
That's immigrants who don't
Mm.
even speak English, but they didn't need to speak any because they are heavily medicated, so some they're out of it.
Mm. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So that was very interesting to
Mm.
experiences I
This
had, and
is
then I had so
amazing.
much from this, yeah, volunteer.
Yeah.
I did that about a year.
This is great, because here in Italy, Reiki is not really allowed in hospitals. Like it's very
Mm.
rare that you would have
Yeah,
Reiki
it's not
practitioners.
common. It's not common here
Common.
either. I
Oh,
was
all
able to
right.
find those two
Wow. Well, that's
hospitals.
amazing that you found two
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
able to go
Yeah,
there.
actually, one of my Jikiden Reiki friend who started this Reiki program at this West
Mm,
Valley, but she moved. So both of us actually
right.
started. And then,
That's
so there are
amazing.
several other spiritual program under
Right.
the palliative care
Mm,
healing program, like a priest go and read the
yeah, yeah.
Bible,
Give
something.
support, spiritual
Yes,
support.
like a mental
I guess you have so many incredible stories, right? In both
from there.
palliative care because
Yes,
it's a
yeah,
very special
yeah.
moment in the life of
Mhm.
someone,
So they
right?
don't expect to receive a Reiki because,
Mm,
I introduced myself, I got
mm,
this doctor notes and I give you 30 minutes Reiki and then what's the Reiki? And so you
mm.
just lie down and then we just touch you, head and here and there.
Yeah.
And then just you come down and then
Mm,
they receive it really well. No
yeah.
hesitation,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
no skeptic. Yeah.
I
Well,
find
that was kind of,
also,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
I found also amazing that on the other side, in the other hospital, you were taking care also of the staff, which is something
Yeah.
so important, right? To have a
Yes,
quality service.
exactly.
Sometimes they're very much under stress, like most of the time,
Exactly.
probably.
Exactly.
So that's I find really, really impressive and amazing
Yeah.
that you could do
Yeah. So
both. Yeah.
I admire the leader that,
Mm,
started the program at Stanford Hospital, which is the, prestige hospital to accept this type of healing method for the staff
right.
member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories you want to share about these two experiences or?
Well, maybe from the West Valley, the community hospital.
Mm, mm,
So I usually see the patient only uh, once. So
Mm.
even though I go every week,
Yeah.
they released. So I
Oh.
don't see them twice. But there is only one patient, his name is Michael. I
Mm.
saw him twice. And
Mm.
then I think he was the homeless, and
Mm.
then he had a tumor in his lip.
Mm.
Like so the first week, so he couldn't speak, and then he has a little bit of he doesn't have the regular mindset. And then
Mm.
and it's the first week, those are the patients I always see.
Mm.
People have some issues, and then so Michael has a little tumor in his lip, and
Mm.
then we did the give Reiki 30 minutes. That was fine. And then the next week, believe it or not, I got the same Michael's name on the
Mm.
paper. It's like this was rare because I've never
Yeah.
seen the same person twice.
Twice.
And we
Yeah.
went back to his room, and his tumor was much, much bigger.
Mm.
He couldn't talk. And then, of course, he wasn't able to talk from the beginning. He cannot communicate.
Mm.
But then he asked he did like this. See, he needed a pencil and a
Yeah.
paper.
Ah, to
And then the nurse
write.
was
Yeah.
next. Yeah, he wanted to write something.
Mm.
And we were doing, and the nurse said, "Wow, this was the first time Michael,
Oh.
was here." And then he drew, it says, "Thank you." And it just not the clear lettering though. It just that moment,
Wow.
And then he started to mumbling, thank you,"
Mm.
with this, tumor, and then he couldn't open the mouth and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the first time he was in this, the hospital bed, and I saw
Mm.
half upper body was up and then lie down. And then when he was receiving Reiki, his arms and legs were like, how do you call that? Like a puppet. It's like this,
Mm.
like,
Having spasm. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
spasm,
Yeah.
huge spasm, like,
Yeah. Mm.
yeah. So he received really well. So that was a touching moment too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And I imagine there's so many
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. So
moving
I did
moments
about
like
a year.
that.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Wonderful.
Everything was, yeah. So I was into Reiki, and then what is this, right? And it's always find out
Mm.
what is this, and it's still searching, and
Mm.
it's still going. So I just wanted to, and then in this area, San Jose area, there was a Shihan named Watanabe
Mm-hmm.
Sensei. So
Mm-hmm.
he became a Shihan when Mari-san became a Shihan. So they became a Shihan
Ah.
together at that level. And then he is much older than us, and then he was a principal in Japan, and he moved here.
Oh.
And now he's probably late 80, but he went back to Japan again. But anyway, so he was here. Watanabe Sensei was here, and then he used to host the seminar in San Francisco every year. Host
Mm.
Yamaguchi Sensei's um, seminar. And then
Right.
one time I was asked to do the interpretation
This is
for
amazing.
but then I only took a course from Mari-san, right? So
Mm.
not for me to, how do you,
Oh, right.
peg
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I had to take a course from Amanda. I took a course from Amanda to see how she uses some, term in
The
English, and then
vocabulary,
yeah,
yeah, the
vocabulary.
words, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I did the interpretation.
Amazing,
Yeah, and then
amazing.
actually twice I think I did the
Right.
two
Okay.
seminars.
And how was this experience to interpret for Tadao
Oh my
Sensei and
God,
to
it's not easy. I mean, for sure you do too, but like a brain have to switch back and forth to Japanese and stuff.
the
And then
computer?
some Japanese words that Yamaguchi Sensei uses are really hard to translate.
Yeah.
Outside of a textbook sometimes, like shoot,
Yeah. And sometimes one Japanese word can be like three or four words in English
yeah.
or the opposite way around.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait.
And then I was
Yeah.
nervous, of course. And then at the second seminar I did, and then Yamaguchi Sensei was saying something. He made a mistake. Instead of say crown chakra, he
Mm.
said he did the brown chakra. In brown chakra. So I translated, well, this is the brown chakra. I translated as is
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I said
absolutely.
I cannot change it. And then he said, oh, don't translate that. Then I said, don't translate it that way. It's like just like a little comedy to, soften up the, seminar. That was funny.
But
That was
that's
funny.
great, and I think that's the role of someone who
Mhm.
translates. It's not like change
No, no,
the
yeah,
content, like what is transmitted. So it
yeah.
makes everything even more,
Mm.
authentic and beautiful, I
So
think.
yeah, so like say, so Watanabe Sensei kept,
Mm.
hosting, but it's a lot of work, and
Yeah.
he's 80 years old, and then at one
Yeah.
time, so he kind of wanted to step back, and he asked
Mm.
me to host
Mm.
the seminar. It's like, oh my gosh. So okay, but because you have to carry on the
Mm.
tradition.
Yeah, yeah.
So okay, I accepted, and then
Ah.
I decided to do the coordinator, but this time I asked Mari
Mm.
Okazaki, to
Mm.
fly from Vancouver, Canada to San Francisco as an interpreter because I didn't think I can do both. Like
Yeah,
Mari
that's a
does
lot of
all the time. It's a
work.
lot of work. I have to be, prepare for everything, right? So,
Mm.
and then she actually agreed. Um, very quickly because she was preparing for Congress in Canada.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So if she comes to, San Francisco, she has some more time to talk directly
Mm.
to Yamaguchi Sensei for planning.
Mm.
So so that was 2019. Yeah. And
Mm.
then so I was preparing, and then Yamaguchi Sensei earlier said that Maki-san, why don't you become a Shihan? He asked.
Ah.
Yeah. So like maybe second seminar or something like that. But anyway,
Mm.
so then, so he kind of suggested then, oh, maybe I should. And then because I, when I became a Shihankaku, I was really eager to teach
Yeah.
Jikiden Reiki.
Yeah.
So I taught 9 students within a year. No problem.
Wow,
Yeah. But
amazing.
then realized if I teach all, in order to become a Shihan, you need to teach 10
Yeah,
students.
right,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I teach all 10, I will
Mm.
be qualified to take Shihan
Mm.
seminar. But then if I become Shihan here, I could be the same level as Watanabe Sensei, but
Mm.
I just became Shihan Kaku, and then I thought I needed to take some more time to
Mm.
earn more experience. So I actually intentionally I stopped teaching for about
Oh.
5 years. Yeah. But then at the time when Yamaguchi Sensei said, I think it's good time for you to become Shihan.
Mm.
So I decided to become Shihan when during the seminar that I coordinate for the first time in San
Oh, that's
Francisco.
wonderful.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
that
was a
makes
really,
sense.
yeah, memorable
Mm.
seminar. In addition, I became a Shihan on my birthday.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't set
what
up that
else?
way. I didn't set up that way because usually the Kyoto office gives me, the dates,
Yes.
available dates. So voila.
Wonderful. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every pieces were put
Yeah,
together so
every
that it was
pieces.
happening
Yeah,
as a
but the
celebration for you
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
So since the beginning, when I became a Jikiden Reiki practitioner,
Mm.
I've really enthusiastic. So I went to Barcelona Congress, you
Oh,
know, yeah,
yeah.
Kyoto Congress, of course. And then I just wanted to show you, this
Mm.
is the attendance card.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
My my attendance card is
Full.
uh, full except for the Daishihan, of
All
course.
right, of
And then
course.
in an all stamp,
Yeah.
and I have one, two, like a three paper more. And just
Oh,
addition.
right. Also, they have to give you an extra
Extra
paper.
run on. And then from Franca Japa and then Amanda. And then
Oh.
last year I went to UK
Yeah. This is
Um,
amazing.
yes, I've been taking some classes from a Japanese Shihana as well in Japan to see how they
Mm.
do. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is also great. I love that. I love also the fact that actually we never stop learning,
No,
right?
never, never.
Never ever. And I think the more we take classes, the more we think like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I also have to keep on practicing on that or that, right? It's
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
so great. I love
It's
that
so
you have
great.
so many cards.
And then the
Yeah.
last year, I went to the Grand Reiju ceremony in
Mm,
Kyoto. I was
wow.
able to. Yeah, Mari-san was there, and
Mm,
they're going to have another one this year in November in Tokyo.
mm,
So I will be in Tokyo
wonderful.
that day, so maybe I might be able to attend.
Oh, please
So
go.
yeah, like that. Yeah,
So wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
guess once we're caught into the practice and also the community that is so great.
Yeah, that
We
was
just
so
want
great.
to, we just want to meet and yeah, learn more together, practice together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So I'm just hoping that, near future, the
mm,
Kyoto office will host, another World Congress. The
mm.
world is get calmer. So
Yes.
hopefully. And then
Let's
they
hope.
are actually thinking, so just start to save some money and we
Will
can go.
do.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wonderful.
It's almost the time to have a second one, the work.
Mm.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
you had so many opportunities to deepen your practice and also to
Mhm.
meet everyone from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
community.
Hmm.
But I'm also curious because you are Japanese, right?
Hmm.
Like to
Yeah.
and you were born and raised in Japan, and then
Correct.
you
Correct.
moved to the United
I
States.
see. When
When
I
was
was
that?
25 years old
All
to
right.
study English.
Okay.
I've been here for 35, so you can do the calculation.
I don't.
So like I
I stay
said,
at 25. That's
yeah, I live in San Francisco, a Bay Area we call, also Silicon Valley.
right. Okay.
The city I live has there is a, excuse me, Google headquarter is
All
located right
right.
here. And then
Oh.
Apple and Facebook, Meta, like all
Mm,
the technology is located.
it's
It's kind
cool.
of strange place in a way.
Mm, yeah, I can imagine that. And
So when I go to Japan, it's much more countryside. It's all rice field and then
oh,
water and then, mountain and ocean, and it's more nature oriented.
right.
So I go home in Japan spring and fall because summer month in Japan is just
It's
it's so
no,
hot,
don't go.
it's unbearable. And then the winter in my hometown is super cold. It's go
Oh,
minus.
where
So
is your hometown?
it's called right now it's called Oita. It's
Oita.
a southwest part of Japan.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You
In
said
Kyushu.
right now because it changed name or?
Hmm? Oh, I used to live in Fukuoka, which is
Ah,
a
that's
north
why.
of
Oh,
Kyushu.
right.
So
Because
moved
now,
to.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Right,
Oita. Yeah, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so.
So it's a little bit too it's totally different to world I live
Hmm.
in.
Yeah. So, what was the cultural transition when you, at 25 years old, when you arrived in
Well,
the
I think
United
everything
States?
was, like cool, right? Because I was young and I learned and everything, food and the culture and the people, stuff
Mm,
like that. And
mm,
then it's some Japanese culture were there, like some Japanese food and the
mm,
futon bed, and some Japanese automobiles like a Toyota and
mm,
Nissan back then. Yeah,
mm. Right.
yeah.
Did you have some aspects that were a bit challenging, like moving to the US, or
Not so much.
not
I
so
was
much, right?
really
Yeah.
tomboy.
Mm,
Which is living in Japan for me is slightly harder because I cannot really be one of them. I was really different, so
mm,
I do what I want to do, but then, people say, well, because you're a woman, because you're, young and this, you
mm,
have to behave this way, that way. There's a certain rules and cultural, tradition. So I was
Yeah,
out of that to here in the United States and then do what I wanted to do. So
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this I hear a lot about a little bit of pressure in the Japanese culture
Yeah, yeah.
that when you go maybe in the US or in some parts of Europe, you feel like, oh, there's so much freedom.
Yes. So that
Right.
freedom, though,
Mm,
also happened to Reiki because people here do not have any pretty conditioned, information. Just Reiki is the energy work, da 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 da. But
right.
then on the other hand, in Japan, some of may well, you maybe heard of it, but some people are really skeptical, and then
Mm,
certain groups does a similar like a hand healing as a part of religion,
yeah.
and then if you go to like a big station and in front of the station, and then people says, "Would you like to have some?" Like a,
Oh,
like a, oh no no no. So
yeah.
yeah,
Kind of
so that
cult like,
yeah, cult-like.
yeah.
So
Mm,
some people kind of get mixed with the Jikiden
mm,
Reiki and then those
yeah.
called hand healing group. But that's, I would say many people, majority of
Right?
Japanese, yeah. So
Yeah.
it is hard for me to kind of coming out that I'm
Yeah.
teaching Jikiden Reiki, especially in my hometown, is so remote and a rural
Mm,
setting, and the people has more traditional mind. So
mm.
I try not to say so much. So
Why do you think that Japanese people have this preconception that Reiki
conception, yeah,
could
the
be
cult.
this
I think
yeah,
back then, some of the cult people,
mm,
cult group, did
mm,
like
this hands-on
association.
healing?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, maybe also the kanji, right? The rei.
Reiki. Yeah,
Mm.
Ray is kind of a mysterious. Yeah.
Yeah, this I'm
Mm.
always curious because I know that the kanji can mean so many things actually. In a way, uh, is it you think because at the time of Mikao Usui Sensei, it meant more
Yeah.
like the soul in a very simple
Yeah.
way,
This, yeah, simple way. Yeah.
right?
But
And
it's been changed.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Somehow.
Yeah, that's that. I always wonder why did it change? Is it because after the war, maybe mm, they
Yeah.
didn't want like they wanted maybe people to focus more on
That's
uh
something that you can see and it's more.
yeah, on rebuilding the country maybe or
Mhm.
economically or without being too spiritual and yeah.
That could be
Mm,
it. But
mm,
nowadays, some I've been seeing more like a spiritual, uh, like a concept, like
mm,
yoga came in, so therefore chakras and all the
yeah.
yeah, the Western, the good way, just
Yeah,
to realize
absolutely.
what our life is, what our soul is, where it's from, where it's
Mm.
going, that kind
Which
of stuff.
is funny somehow because it's
Yeah.
almost like all these practices from outside of Japan, they trust. And
Yeah.
when something is from Japan,
Isn't
it's
that
like,
weird?
oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it's more exotic, it's something new, no? Like,
Yeah, something new and then
yeah,
not to, you know, employ
yeah,
uses
exactly.
ideas.
And so,
Yeah.
did you also? So you said you taught exclusively in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But do you do also treatments in Japan when you're there?
I do the treatment in Japan only time when people asked. I
Right.
don't really offer, like I'm not going to put posts and say,
No,
I
no,
can.
no. You don't promote, let's say, the fact that
No,
you,
no,
yeah.
but then somehow people know that I do Reiki, Jikiden Reiki,
Mm,
through, I don't know, Facebook or whatever, word
yeah,
of mouth. And then people knock my door and then just give a Reiki. Yes,
beautiful.
yes, yeah.
And have you noticed some differences between the kind of requests that people come with?
Yeah,
Uh,
they request secretly, right? Secretly.
ah, oh, so you think
They
in
don't say that they receive Reiki from me.
Ah, that's
to get
interesting.
well. Yeah. I
Oh,
think that's the big difference. I mean, so
mm,
here in the Silicon Valley, there are so many Japanese,
right. Yeah.
living here. And then some of them, they just don't believe. So
Mm,
still, but some do believe.
mm,
So I'm kind of an interesting situation. But here in the Bay Area, I do promote. I don't
mm,
really put the sign or anything, but then
mm.
people know that I do. So
Yeah.
that's how they get the word of mouth. And then plus, the great thing about Jikiden Reiki is we have this connection, right? Like you and
Mm,
me and me and you, and then some other Shihan, and then the network, the global
mm.
networks, amazing. Like, remember, I have to retake Western Reiki from one teacher to another, but
Yeah.
here we have this Jikiden Reiki network, global network, allows us to get to know someone else besides their, local area. So, for example, people who live in, say, LA got my name
Mm,
from Shihan there.
yeah.
Oh, Maki-san in San Francisco. So
Mm,
they email me as in their, family member is ill. Can you treat her or him? It's like,
mm,
sure, that happened all the time. And then the
mm.
people in Japan email me, is my sister is here in the Bay Area. Can you, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
This
So
is
I really,
wonderful.
yeah, I think and then again, if you take a Jikiden Reiki course from, say, Yamaguchi Sensei or whoever, the curriculum is the
The
same.
same, exactly. This is a wonderful thing. There's
Yeah.
not the ego of the person that will
Mhm.
maybe change the content. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
teachings are one, like, and this is
Yes.
what we all teach, right?
So sometimes, I'm really amazed. I don't know if there is any Reiki school or group that have that much of a network, global
Mm.
network.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing. And I love
Yeah.
how actually we all support each other. So it's like, oh, you're in this area, so yeah,
Yes.
please go there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
go. And then
yeah,
the
this
other
is
day,
wonderful.
there's a one lady from LA
Mm,
asked if I teach, seminar in English. I do, but if you're in LA,
mm,
then there is a so and so nearby. I referred.
mm.
And then she goes, oh, then, they go to that person. So they don't have to fly, she
All
doesn't
the
have
way,
to.
right.
And then hotel here is not so cheap.
I can imagine that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that I really appreciate. So that try to keep in touch with anyone. So that's why I went to London last year to meet colleagues, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I met through the, I think, Barcelona Congress. Yeah,
Mm. This is so great. Are you
yeah,
planning to come back in Europe? I would love to see you here. You
yeah,
have to
yeah,
come to
yeah.
Italy.
Ah, Italy. Ooh. I had osteopathy yesterday. He's from Italy. Yeah,
Oh, you see,
yeah,
that's a sign. You
yeah.
have to come. Yeah, no, that's
Ah,
the Jikiden Reiki teachers in Italy were not so many yet, but
yes.
it's slowly taking off.
Mm,
Like it's amazing, you know. So it's nice because I can see also that here we start to really like be together. It's not like
mm.
everyone is doing their own things. Like
What
whenever we
city are
need
you
some
in?
help. I'm
What
in
city?
Cagliari. I'm on in Sardinia Island. It's really on the south, right? So
Yeah.
I'm really isolated because I'm on the island. But some teachers are more in the north. We have one
Oh,
in Tuscany and one in the south. So we're really
mm,
trying to stay connected and to
great.
keep Jikiden Reiki spreading and keep on, being bright
Great.
in
I
Italy
think
as
you're
well.
doing great job.
Right. And oh, I have a question now for
Yeah,
you
yeah.
that I ask to every guest on Reiki Banashi.
Hmm.
And that question is, if you had the chance to
Hmm.
meet Mikao Usui Sensei today,
Uh-huh.
what would you want to ask him or say to him? Or maybe both.
Ah, I wanted to ask him maybe how he feels about this current Reiki community. I mean, not only Jikiden Reiki,
Mm.
all this. I don't think he expect to Reiki to be spread this much in the globally. And I'm sure he will be appreciated then. Then I would like to ask, so what can we do
Mm.
to say do a little bit better way or
Mm.
anything that we can do to improve ourselves or maybe he may not I don't know. I just want to ask his advice. What can we do to
Mm.
do a little bit better if there is anyone? Yeah.
That's a wonderful question, right?
Mm.
Yeah. That would be so nice to have his answer. Let's hope he can, he
Ah,
can hear us.
I think we're doing already an amazing job, but then
Mm,
just to see how he feels and if
wonderful.
he has any advice to give,
Wonderful.
here.
Yeah. Right. Well,
Have you ever been to
Maki-san,
Usui Sensei's hometown?
I'm
Did you go?
planning to go
Ah,
next year.
oh,
Next
you
year.
are?
In a few months, I'm going to
Oh,
Japan again. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really?
So in
When?
my next trip, I'm thinking next year, but it's in September, October. I will
September,
be in
October.
Japan.
Oh,
So I'm planning. Yeah, I really want to go to see.
I'll be in Kyoto September 17th through
Eh!
25th. I forgot. Yeah, yeah. I already have a ticket.
Oh, we have to plan something
Yeah,
together.
let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So, Maki-san, we're slowly arriving at the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
episode, but before we close, is there anything we haven't touched that you feel called to share with us?
There might be another one, but then I think I confessed my strange experience with Reiki for the
That we
first
love.
time.
We love your
So
strength.
hopefully some people, it's okay not to believe or believe, I don't know.
Mm,
That's real my experience. So
mm.
I'm so grateful that you gave me this opportunity to, I never really talked this much on the Zoom conference.
It
I
was the
think
time.
because you just gives me a really comfortable, atmosphere. Look at your smile. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
So,
keep in touch.
Maggie-san, before
Mhm.
we say mata ne bye bye,
Yeah.
if someone wants to connect with you or learn
Mhm.
more, where can they find you? They need to contact you
Or
by
maybe Facebook or through the
Facebook?
Jikiden Reiki NPO site.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'll make sure to include the link
Oh, okay.
down
Okay.
below
Oh,
for who is watching. And
very
yeah,
good. Very good.
perfect. So that they
Yes.
can contact you directly
Yeah.
from there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
doing
you.
excellent work and keep in touch and
Uh,
hopefully to see you in maybe in September.
Actually, yeah, I didn't expect that. That's really amazing. So, yeah, thank you again for this
Thank you.
wonderful
Arigato, grazie,
conversation.
gracias.
Arigato, grazie. Arigato
Merci.
gozaimashita.
Everything. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you again to Maki. If you'd like to keep exploring these topics with me, you can find me on Instagram or on my website. And if you want to dive deeper or learn more, all the links are in the show notes. I'll see you soon for another episode, and in the meantime, take care. Arigatou gozaimashita.